listening to Coffee and Conversation with Recovery Advocate Network, the nonprofit organization that strives to address the staggering disparity in resource availability for individuals suffering from mental health disorders, processing disorders, addictions, trauma healing, and sexual identity challenges. Together, we strive to end the stigma associated with these challenges so that true healing can begin. Welcome back to Coffee and Conversations Between the Lines Blog Club series. This is episode number 48, where Crystal Coney will read Joshua Young's blog post entitled Shadows and Light, A Journey Through Forgiveness. Crystal captured the Miss North Carolina USA crown in 1997 and went on to be the first Black woman to represent North Carolina in the Miss USA pageant. Since then, Crystal has become an award-winning actress, model, spokesperson, and on-camera host. She has appeared in numerous shows such as This Is Us, SWAT, NCIS, and Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., to name a few. And she recurs as Nurse Lisa on the TV show The Rookie, and as Angie on the hit HBO series The Righteous Gemstones. She has just completed filming another reoccurring role on an upcoming Apple TV show, High Desert, and has completed several other projects that should hit the screen soon. Look for Crystal as Nurse Lisa on the season 6 premiere of The Rookie on February 20th. Between the Lines episodes are written by guests who prefer to use their written voice instead of their interview voice to share their stories. As a reminder, the views expressed in any blog are the views of the author, and the purpose is to provide a safe place for the author's voice to be heard. So, what are we waiting for? Fill up your coffee, sit back, and let's get started.
Shadows and Light, A Journey Through Forgiveness by Joshua Young. I'm Crystal Coney. The journey of forgiveness is often a road less traveled, marked by the shadows of past hurts and the weight of unhealed wounds. My story is a testament to this journey, a narrative of betrayal, pain, and ultimately the redemptive power of forgiveness. It all began in the middle-class suburban town of my youth, where life seemed as straightforward and predictable as the seasons. I was a vibrant, curious child with dreams larger than the sky and a heart full of trust. But, like a sudden storm darkening a clear sky, my world was shattered by betrayal. I was young, barely out of childhood, when a man I trusted, a figure of authority and respect, betrayed that trust in the most painful way imaginable. The details are a blur, a memory I've long tried to bury, but the impact of his actions was like a stone cast into the still waters of my soul, rippling outwards, touching every part of my being. He was the kind of adult who seemed to understand the world of a child, and in his presence I felt seen and heard. But that trust was shattered in a way that left a deep and enduring scar. This man, who I'd begun to refer to as my shadow monster, betrayed me, and that betrayal was like a poison seeping into every crevice of my young heart, leaving me feeling broken and alone. As I stumbled into childhood, that wound remained unhealed, a constant ache that I could neither understand nor articulate. To numb the aches and pains, I first turned to suicidal ideation, a dark and sinister way to simply end the suffering. I then turned to alcohol, a temporary balm that soon became my master. I found solace in the numbing embrace of alcohol. It started innocently enough, a drink to dull the pain, to silence the memories. But soon it became a crutch, a constant companion in my descent into darkness. As I spiraled deeper into the depths of addiction, I became a version of myself I barely recognized. I hurt people, some who loved me, others who just happened to cross my path at the wrong time. My actions, fueled by a toxic mix of pain and alcohol, left a trail of broken relationships and shattered trust. Years passed in a blur of regret and self-loathing until one day I woke up to the realization that I was not only a victim of betrayal, but also an architect of my own misery. It was a moment of painful clarity, a piercing light in the darkness of my existence. I understood then that forgiveness was not just a word, but a lifeline, a way out of the quagmire of my own making. In that moment of clarity, I began to see forgiveness in a new light. It was no longer just about finding a way to forgive my shadow monster for his unforgivable betrayal and actions. It was about forgiving myself for the path I had chosen in response to that pain. It was about understanding that while I couldn't change the past, I had the power to shape my future. Forgiving my shadow monster was not about absolving him of his sins or diminishing the gravity of his actions. It was about freeing myself from the chains of hatred and resentment that had bound me for far too long. It was about freeing myself from the grip of that memory, about acknowledging that his actions no longer defined me. It was a difficult process, filled with anger, tears, and moments of overwhelming sadness. But with each step towards forgiveness, I felt a little more of the weight lift from my shoulders, a little more of the darkness recede from my heart. It was a journey fraught with inner turmoil, a battle between the desire to hold on to my pain as a shield and the need to let it go to find peace. It took time, more than I care to admit, but slowly the grip of the past loosened, and I began to see the world and myself in a new light. Equally important was the need to make amends for the hurt I had caused others. I began to reach out to apologize, to try and mend the bridges I had burned. Some of those I reached out to were forgiving, offering me kindness and understanding that I felt I didn't deserve. Others couldn't forgive me, and while that hurt, I understood. The act of making amends was not about seeking redemption from others, but about taking responsibility for my actions, about living the values I had lost along the way. The journey of forgiveness and making amends taught me that we are all flawed, all capable of causing and enduring hurt. But within us is also an immense capacity for healing, for empathy, and for change. Forgiving my shadow monster allowed me to reclaim the narrative of my life, to see myself not only as a victim of his betrayal, but as a survivor, strong and resilient. Making amends for my own actions allowed me to reconnect with my humanity, to rebuild relationships on the foundations of honesty and integrity. Today, as I reflect on my journey, I see forgiveness as a powerful force, a catalyst for transformation, and it is not a sign of weakness, but of profound strength. It's not about forgetting the past or condoning hurtful actions, but learning from it, growing through it. It's about breaking the cycle of pain and bitterness and finding the strength to move forward with compassion and understanding. Forgiving my betrayer allowed me to reclaim my life, to find joy and purpose beyond the shadows of my past. And attempting to make amends, though often painful, was a testament to my commitment to change, to become a person worthy of the second chance I had given myself. In sharing my story, I strive to offer hope to those struggling in the darkness of unforgiveness. Whether you are grappling with the pain of being wronged or the guilt of having wronged others, know that forgiveness is a path to healing, a journey toward a peace that transcends the wounds of the past. It's a difficult road, marked by setbacks and heartache, but it's a road worth traveling. For in forgiveness, we find not only the key to our own liberation, but also the possibility of a future defined not by our past hurts, but by our capacity for love, empathy, and renewal.
Thank you for joining us today with your coffee and conversation. We hope you've been encouraged and learned something from today's story. To learn more about today's guest, please check out our show notes for more details. Now it's time to remember to like this episode, subscribe, and turn on your notifications to ensure you do not miss future episodes. Recovery Advocate Network envisions a world where individuals with mental health challenges receive comprehensive and effective treatment without the worry of financial burdens to themselves or their families, all without the stigmas often present in society. We are proud that every individual working with RAN does so on a 100% volunteer basis. You can support the mission by making a financial donation via PayPal or Venmo, or email donate@recoveryadvocatenetwork.org if you would like to donate items for our next fundraising auction. Please visit our website at www.recoveryadvocatenetwork.org to learn more. Now, stay in the loop about upcoming events, future episodes, and more by following us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter X, TikTok, LinkedIn, and all major podcast platforms. As a reminder, the experiences and advice expressed in this episode are the host and guest's own personal stories and do not represent the opinions of any organization mentioned. RAN is passionate about opening the doors for all voices and experiences, not just those expressed in any particular podcast. If you want to share your experiences or expertise, we encourage you to be a future guest by emailing us at podcast@recoveryadvocatenetwork.org or submit a blog by emailing blog@recoveryadvocatenetwork.org. We also encourage you to comment on the episode so that we can continue to provide content that is most beneficial to the community. How do you do that? Visit our website at www.recoveryadvocatenetwork.org, and in the top right corner, click that comment button and comment. So listeners, what do you need to do? Pause what you're doing, subscribe, follow us. Please give us a like and a 5-star rating, write some meaningful comments, and most importantly, share these episodes with your friends. You never know whose heart you will touch, so please be a part of a reason someone has new hope today. If this episode was triggering to you, we encourage you to contact your support system, therapist, national and community support groups, the Global Crisis Text Line by texting 741-741, and/or if in the U.S., dialing 988 to reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. If you're in the U.S. and need additional resources such as shelter, support group resources, transportation, food, and/or a safe, confidential path out of physical or emotional domestic abuse, please call 211 or visit www.211info.org for assistance. Now, we know you are very busy, and we are grateful that you said yes to sharing time with us today. If you stuck to our 3 C's of engagement and listened to the full episode, then visit the podcast section of our website and leave the comment about the podcast, and you'll be entered to win an autographed copy of one of the books from one of our book club series, as well as a coffee and conversation coffee mug. So thanks again. Until next time, back to your coffee.